All right. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joni Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. I'm a big data geek, and if you're joining our session, hopefully it's because you're trying to help have more informed decisions. That's primarily why we do what we do every day, myself and my team. We're here to empower companies to make more timely, informed decisions. If someone in your management, if some people in your management are data driven and data hungry, guess what? You are for a treat. So the main reason is why would people use DataSelf since Acumatica has such a great reporting tool platform. And even people can use Excel to get information out of Acumatica. So why would people need DataSelf? It goes back to, again, more timely informed decisions. Many of the decision makers, they're not technical, and they will not have time to learn customizations in the Acumatica reporting platform. And they do have to rely in someone else, sometimes a report writer or a consultant to write new reports. In smart management, data-driven management, they have questions all the time, ad hoc questions left and right. And if they can get the answer now, they can make a more informed decision now, the business evolves much more quickly. If they have to make a decision without the information that they need, or they have to postpone it, guess what? In the course of a year, those not well-informed decisions can add up to a lot of money being lost. So data-hungry people need to be empowered so they can find answers to their questions anytime, anywhere, without calling anyone else. And that's why we're here, is to empower decision makers to do that. Just to give two examples that recently a couple of our clients told us, why they invest in DataSelf. Very simple examples. That even the Acumatica platform, didn't give them the power. One said, hey, I was trying to figure out who my top customers were in a period in Acumatica. I went to search for that information in Acumatica, and I couldn't find a report for it. And I need to know the information now. And then I realized, can DataSelf help us? Yes, we can. Another example, another client have a similar question. They were trying to see how much sales they have by ship to location. And the decision maker wanted to know the answer now. And again, they went to Acumatica, they searched for sales by ship to, and no report was ready. And again, they would have to call someone to build a report. So what I'm going to show you in this session is going to cover two different blocks of information for two different audiences. The first part of this presentation is to show you how business users benefit from DataSelf. In this first block, I'm going to cover the most popular dashboards for Acumatica among our client base. We have lots of clients using DataSelf, and I'm going to show the top 5 most popular dashboards. Then I'm going to show how business users can customize the solution without being technical. In the second part of my presentation is to address the people who are responsible for reporting and how DataSelf takes your skill set, your power to the next level with security in the best of the breed reporting tool. So I'm going to cover both audiences. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. And the first thing I'm going to show is the top 5 most popular dashboards for Acumatica in 2021. We have lots of clients, again, and we monitor the usage of the system. And we found out that these are the top 5. So typically when you go to DataSelf can be embedded in Acumatica just like this. People might not even know it's DataSelf powering reports and dashboards, but it's there. Some of the DataSelf users, they don't use Acumatica at all. They don't have to go to Acumatica, and they have their own dashboard. So DataSelf can be embedded or not in Acumatica. Anyhow, among the top 5 dashboards most popular in 2020, the fifth one is an AR aging dashboard. And let me tell you a little bit about the story here. This is the first time, the first year that AR aging became part of the top 5. And apparently, because as people now are a lot more connected to the supply chain, to the vendors and to their customers. And in the past, when something was wrong, maybe it was not so critical, some kind of delay in payment. Today, when receivables are getting late, sometimes your client is not in a good shape because of the pandemic and all this craziness that is going on out there. So we've seen a lot more, the businesses more connected to their vendors and customers from this more personal. People care more about the supply chain as a whole and the people. And I think that's why this AR report became so popular. Now, one thing with DataSelf that is dramatically better than what's available in Acumatica is the ability to slice and dice your data in the fly and drill down top level to the next level, all the way to GI level. Is very interactive. So like in this dashboard, for instance, if I only want to see, these 3 different buckets of late AR, I can select those 3 data points. And by doing so, automatically the whole dashboard filters everything else out. And now I only see, the invoices, the past due dates, the salesperson, the salespeople, the customers, the details of only those data points. Or let's say if you want to see the salesperson who has a lot of past due invoices, what about them? I click the salesperson, and again, the whole dashboard filters. If you use the Acumatica built-in functionality, you can see something like this. Yes, you can. But once you click on a data point, you go to a GI. And sometimes people are not ready to see GI. They want to filter things. They want to drill down into another dashboard first before they go to a GI. And the DataSelf capability allows people to do that. So this is the dashboard number 5, most popular. The next one is the Daily Flash, the 4th most popular dashboard. And the Daily Flash has a very interesting story. The point here is decision makers, as an individual or as a group of people, they usually care about some metrics that they want to monitor every day. They don't want to wait days, weeks, or months to figure out that something really bad or really great happened. They want to know today. And that's the idea of the Daily Flash, is to quickly and easily put together and customize a dashboard or reports that every one of these decision makers can access it every day or receive by email about the metrics that they care. And use colors to highlight the great and the bad, because everything between, usually these busy people, sometimes they don't care. They only care about the exceptions. This is just an example out of the box of the Daily Flash, where we see in this case a sales Daily Flash with all the big numbers for today or yesterday, by territory, salesperson, customer. In the colors, in this case, we have 2 colors. Blue is fine. Red is below the gross profit goal. So quickly I can tell what is happening with this customer, why the profitability is low. I can click and then I can see all related data points and hopefully make a decision or assist the process to tackle those threats or opportunities. So this is, popular dashboard, and very often highly customized to each individual of group or salespeople, group of decision makers that want to monitor their own KPIs in the Daily Flash daily. The next, also very popular dashboard is, of course, a financial dashboard. And financial dashboards are usually very popular among C-level people, CFO, controller, absolutely, but also the CEO, CFO, and general managers. And they usually want to see, usually in charts and also details, the KPIs that they care. And quite often, this kind of dashboard doesn't need to be daily. Sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's monthly. But overall, they usually care the most among pieces of their financials in a dashboard that is visually interactive. They give them the big data points, and people can easily slice and dice and drill down. So that's the number 3 most popular dashboard. The next one is the hot and cold. The hot and cold is also a very interesting story. Again, most decision makers, they want to see they're managing things on a daily basis, but they want to be aware of things that are really doing great or not frequently. Let me just reload my page. So while it loads, is looking at the tip of the curve, looking at the biggest, the most, that we call the hot performers, as well as the cold performers. So this is an example that is available out of the box that is looking from a sales standpoint, but you can also see from a financial standpoint, purchasing, inventory, anything. But the idea here, this one is looking at the hot customers in this example. What are the hot customers? The biggest ones by sales in a given period, and you can select what the period is, as well as which ones are growing the most since a prior period. So the biggest right now in the ones growing the most. That's a very easy way to tell hot customers or hot products, whatever it is. On the bottom, we have the cold ones. And what is defined here at the box is which ones are declining the most in sales since the prior period. So they're going down significantly. So that's not good. In which ones were buying last period, but not at all this period. Interesting thing is, usually people are aware of the hot because you're getting business, you're getting calls, you're getting business, you're working with them, but they are not aware of the cold ones until sometimes it's too late. The clients might not be happy, competition might be knocking the door, and if you don't act proactively in a timely fashion, they might be gone for good. So having, hot and cold dashboards, they are designed and customized for a specific, business for different departments, can keep management to be on top of this very critical KPIs that sometimes, people get to know too late to reverse the trends. So that's also very popular. The most popular dashboard in our clients is a sales dashboard as well, is what is called the year-over-year sales. And this is an interesting perspective because if you are a sales-driven organization, usually you're looking at your sales this year, this period, the past few periods, and quite often you're comparing against the same period last year. And that's what this dashboard allows, business people to do quickly, easily, without calling anyone else. So let me show how interactive this is. So right now I'm looking at, the year-over-year sales, the total this year, total last year, the variances, and I can quickly decide, what the year and the periods are. So right now I'm looking my sample database for year 2020 across all periods. Well, what if I want to see 2021? So there it is, 2021, and in my sample database, I'm through October, and right now I'm comparing a full year last year versus a full year this year, and I'm showing a decline. Well, because it's not a year-to-date comparison. Let's do a year-to-date comparison through the period 10 and press apply. So now I'm doing year-to-date comparison, and now it's showing a growth. Okay, top level growth. The dark blue is this year, so I can see that the line for this year, the light blue for last year, sales by customer this year, last year, and the variance by product and also by territory. And again, the interactivity of this is really what helps data-hungry management to make more timely, informed decisions. For instance, I see here that I have some customers that are big and they have a lot of decline. What about them? What's driving the decline? I can just click a data point and automatically the whole dashboard will change to only show my sales total, trend analysis, region, and products sold to this customer. Maybe I want to see aggregated, a bunch of them. I want to see, let's say, Let me pick two of them. I'm going to select these two customers that have big decline. Now it's aggregated, and I can make the decision based on out of these two customers, what products are driving the decline. So here it is. These are the products driving the most decline for these two customers. The ability, again, to give decision makers this easy ways to navigate, slice and dice, and go to details. What do I mean by go to details? Hey, I'm looking at a customer. I make that high-level analysis, and now I want to see something like a GI. You can click something like show details, and now out of the high-level report, yes, you can go down to something like a GI where you control what information is going to be rendered for each person. All the things that I'm showing, you can easily export to Excel. So very common, if you look at something in a dashboard in a web browser and you export to Excel to do some other manipulation yourself, you can absolutely do that. Now, what I just showed you is the top 5 most popular dashboards. But in many cases, what people want is something customized, something that I have a question right now in how do DataSelf helps those decision makers answering those questions if there is not yet a report or a dashboard ready to go. So let me show you how that can be helped. One of the features is called natural language query. It goes kind of going in line with what Doug was saying earlier today about natural language in the Acumatica overall framework. But this takes to the next level when it comes to, again, inspiring decision makers to make timely, informed decisions. And I mentioned in my early conversation 2 examples of customers that why they came from DataSelf. One was saying, hey, I want to see my top customer by sales in a period. And I couldn't find in Acumatica. In DataSelf, this dashboard is ready to go out of the box. But what if they want to come up with a different question and get an answer instantly? Maybe they don't even know how to find the report. They can just type in plain English. The only thing you need to learn to build reports from scratch in DataSelf is speaking English. So having middle school, graduation from middle school, you probably can build your own reports, and that's it. Let me show the example. I want to see top customers by sales in Q2 2020. A question. It's just like in Google, the natural language query in machine learning reads what the human wrote, try to make sense, and see if there are data points in the database to answer the question. And if it finds those data points, you just have to select which of the hits is the right one. Just like in Google, you write the question, a bunch of hits, you pick the right one. Once you click, an instant, and actually let me do the top 5 or top 10 customers by sales in Q2. I only ask for the top 1. Well, I want to see the top 10. So top 10 customers by sales in 2020. And right there, I get an instant, accurate answer to my question. And that's the power of DataSelf, giving decision makers the ability to find their answers without calling anyone else now, not who knows when. In this example, the blue ones are the top 10. And if I want to see the rest of them, the tool also gave me the option. So I see all the customers, including the top 10. Hey, what if you don't like to see charts? You're a numbers person, you like to see numbers by the penny. And you want to export to Excel? Sure. You just tell the tool, show me as a text table instead. And now the same information is only showing the top 10 with numbers by the penny. What about the other example that people want to see, sales by ship to, by state in this case, in 2020? So again, I asked the question, the tool understands my questions, give me some options, I select it, and I get an instant, accurate answer to your question. This does not replace report writers, but this empowers decision makers to be significantly more independent and make more informed decisions anytime and anywhere. We also have a drag and drop report editor that is powered by Tableau or Power BI. You can choose which tool is the best fit for you, but at the end of the day, If you use Tableau Power BI, we can support you. We can help you get your reporting platform to the next level fast, inexpensively, get it done right from the beginning. So this concludes the first part of my presentation that is more focus-driven, more focused on the business users. Now I'm going to shift to the more technical side of it, where the report designers, the business analysts, they need to have more power, more control, and more security dials to be sure that only the right person, the right decision maker, will access the right information at the right time anywhere. I'm going to show you a little bit of those components. So with DataSelf, let me go to the architecture. This is the architecture of DataSelf for Acumatica and any other system. What we do is we pull data from your source systems, Acumatica, and anything else that you might have as a data source, maybe Salesforce, HubSpot, Excel sheets, e-commerce, Google Analytics, no matter what your data is and where your data is available, we can pull that data into a SQL Server-based data warehouse. Can be totally in the cloud or can be on premises. And then we leverage tools, SQL Server, Excel, Power BI, and Tableau to allow you, the person responsible for reporting or the team responsible for reporting, to give you the tools and the control that you need. Let me show you some examples. This is SQL Server. And this is where we can see the Acumatica tables replicated from the Acumatica cloud into a SQL Server instance that you have full access and you can go crazy with it. So the idea is there's a process, which is our ETL, which will feed your data from Acumatica and other data sources into SQL Server. And now, if you are used to do your GIs, your Excel, and sometimes it's struggling and spending time to maintain them, when you go to SQL, it's usually easier, faster, and you can do a lot more, and it's more visual. For instance, if you want to build a query in SQL, you can just go to this kind of reporting tool, and I want to take, let's say, my AR trend and my, my invoice item table. You drag and drop, and you have a visual way to see what you're doing with your tables. And then you just pick what you want, and you pick all the fields, and you build a query in SQL. And now in seconds, you're getting the data in SQL available. And then from the SQL, building this kind of GI, but as a SQL view or a stored procedure or anything else, then you can plug your Excel or your user Excel. You can plug Tableau Power BI and quickly get the problem done. I have an example here quickly of Excel that is pulling the data from this particular query. And once the query is in SQL, Excel is just Excel. It's an amazingly powerful tool. You can use all the Excel functionality. Tim Rodman covered pretty nicely an overview in the prior session. And then you can use Power Pivot. You can use, the building the Excel functionality to quickly get users information in an Excel format. The way that we manage and control this whole process is using our ETL. ETL is a simple tool to use where you can log or you can plug to your Acumatica data sources. Can be Acumatica version with OData v3, v4, doesn't matter what it is. You connect to them, you map them to the data warehouse, and it's very easy to upload data, like the whole AR trend that I was showing you. When I click AR trend, it shows what fields you have been selected from the Acumatica system, how you want to refresh your data. Typically, when we bring the data for the first time, we bring all of your data from Acumatica. It might take some time, but then we can do delta refreshes. So when we're bringing the data on an ongoing basis, it can take seconds to bring and populate, even if you have a lot of data. And overall, it's very easy to customize. Hey, I want to add some additional tables to DataSelf. Pretty much you connect your data source, again, Acumatica, Salesforce, Excel, anything, your on-premise database. You just pick the tables. Right now I'm adding the AP history, AP payment. Pretty much you're mapping the tables, and then you tell the system to upload And now the data that was in Acumatica that could be slow, old data can be really slow, now becomes in SQL. It can be refreshed in SQL automatically and quickly. And every time you hit the refresh button in your Excel sheet, or if you go for Tableau and Power BI, the whole system refreshes very, very quickly. So that's pretty much a pretty high level overview of what I want to cover. Do we have any questions from the audience? Oh, something that before I forget that I forgot to mention. Because DataSelf brings to the table this amazing reporting platform, Tableau, Power BI, Excel. Some people think, oh my God, this is complicated. This is going to be expensive. Actually, it's not. We can deploy everything that I showed you today, even our enterprise version, in minutes. Typically, 15 to 30 minutes is the time that it takes to bring this whole platform up and running. And then you have to load your data, which can take some time. But the actual human deployment is measured in minutes. In pricing wise, we have three main editions. We have the advanced, which is what I showed you today, the advanced analytics, which you can go with a free trial. So it costs you nothing to get a free trial. And if you decide to keep it after 30 days, is $400 per month for 20 users. And here I'm talking about built-in Tableau users, or if you want to use your own Power BI, we use your Power BI. If you have more elaborate, more sophisticated, multi-tenant and a lot of different complexity in reporting, you might want to consider the Pro and Enterprise. And the main differences between Advanced, Pro, and Enterprise is how many reports are available out of the box. The Advanced, we have dozens. The Pro, we have hundreds. In the Enterprise, we have more than 8,000 pre-configured reports and dashboards ready to go, covering AP, AR, GL, P&L, balance sheet, sales, inventory, purchasing, in CRM as well. So that's why people go from this one to that one, is if they need more things out of the box, less work for them. Our most popular version is still Advanced Analytics. Most of our clients start here and they never move up. But if you are bigger, more sophisticated, we can actually support you with a pretty much scalable platform that can go as big as you can get. With that, do we have any questions?
I don't see any questions in the chat.
All
Anybody
right.
have a favorite DataSelf report they've used? Or maybe.
Yeah, the natural language query, it's becoming very popular. And again, in my perspective, is because management nowadays, data hungry management, there's no short of questions. They're always asking for more things, for different things. And if you don't have a tool that provides you with natural language query or an easy to use report editor, decision makers will have to rely on other people. And quite often they cannot make a decision now. And sometimes they have to wing it. And sometimes people say, no, why would I put so much money into a reporting tool? Well, how much does it cost a not well-informed decision? And if you put that decision in the course of a year, how many not well-informed decisions does your team make on a yearly basis? How much does that cost your business? How much bigger you could be? How much more cost save you could do if you give these smart people more timely information? That's usually, when you look from the perspective, the additional cost of DataSelf is usually a drop in the bucket. Don't cut corners when it comes to give your management the best, most empowered reporting tool. Don't cut corners. That's usually where you can get your business to the next level.
Joni, great stuff. I've seen so much enthusiasm and excitement in the Acumatica partner channel about this product. There was a quick question. Is that all that you showed today available on the base subscription?
Yes, everything that I showed today is available with the advanced, including the free trial.
Okay, and we have about 1 more minute. Candace is asking, what would you say is the most compelling result a client has gotten from this? I know you have some great stories.
So many. I'm going to give one interesting client, Acumatica, the company that uses Acumatica as their ERP and CRM. they use DataSelf as their data warehouse and analytics platform. There's many of their users that every day they consult the reports and dashboards in DataSelf to make more informed decisions. And primarily this journey with them started back in 2018, when was the first year that we started to support Acumatica. And pretty much Nigel, the CFO, CEO, told me, we need to help our users to be more independent. And he went through a list of things, can you help us? Well, we are 3 years into this relationship, and we continue to help their team to become more independent, more successful, to help you as a partner and as a client. So I think if you want to empower your users with this kind of better decision support system, please talk with us to see if we are a good fit for your needs.
All right, thanks everyone. If you have more questions, please do drop by the DataSelf booth in the expo hall, and Joni will be happy to chat with you. I'm happy to chat with you. Michelle Nelson's here as well. So thank you. Yeah, Teresa, we'll follow up with you personally to answer some more of your questions. So thanks everybody.
Thank you all for joining us. Have a happy event.